I don't know what's more annoying, the draw or the overreaction to it. And it's not even that I'm surprised by the overreaction to it. I'm definitely used to it. It's just fucking grating, isn't it? It's just wears you down. Should definitely be used to this after the 2 seasons under Louis van Gaal, but I'm not. What makes me laugh is the complete overreaction and different treatment to every club. The single point being that Jose Mourinho's losing the plot because he's kicking water bottles, whereas Klopp and Conte are showing passion on the touchline. The media's already written the headlines. They just wait for people to do what they need them to do and then bang them out there. There's probably 20 times the number of negative anti-United stories every single week in the press compared to the positive ones. And it's probably 20, 30 times the sheer number that every other club has to deal with. When was the last time you saw a negative article on Liverpool? Do you even remember one? Then daft cunts will start boycotting left, right and centre if you write a negative article on them. I know for a fact Manchester City phone up reporters who write negative articles on them and ask them to explain themselves. Like, what is all that about? Klopp after 13 games last season had 20 points. Mourinho after 13 games this season has got 20 points. You're blind if you can't see the difference that Mourinho is making to the team, but I do think he is getting things wrong. Today I thought he got both the team selection and the formation wrong. And I think I'll probably do a video in the middle of the week. If you guys want it, smash the like button if you want it. Let's see how many likes that gets. And if you want it, I think I know how United can turn it around. And I think the way we turn it around, but I'll go more in depth on that in the week, is we have to play three in the middle. I think the issue that we saw with 4-2-3-1 last season is the issue that we saw with 4-2-3-1 today. When you play that formation, when you're attacking a team and they sit deep, the defence and the midfield collapse into one, and you're left with a bank of four, a bank of five, and a lone man, or you're left with two banks of five, as was the case with West Ham quite a lot today. And when that happens, Manchester United, under Louis van Gaal and still under Mourinho, they basically line up in the gaps a forward five. The two wingers, the number 10, the striker, and one of the midfielders will basically go and stand. Or sometimes it's not often the midfielder, it might be the opposite fullback will go and hit the overlap, but they will literally just stand in the same line that the defence is standing in. No movement. And that's the issue. That is the clear issue. And I think if you are able to play 4-3-3, if you play 4-3-3, you can sometimes lack a little bit of width. But I think when you play 4-3-3, you have more going on in between the lines. And I think that's what you need. I think we've got the players that can play that close-in game. I think Mkhitaryan and Mata have got excellent feet. I think Pogba's got excellent feet. And I think when you play a two-man midfield with Pogba, you give him more defensive duties and you restrict him in the final third. I think when you play Herrera in a two-man midfield, it's either him or Pogba that ends up doing a lot of the defensive work, or all the defensive work. And unfortunately, we are reliant on a 35-year-old Michael Carrick to be the balance in all of this. A three-man midfield of those is an excellent complement for each other. You have people moving in between the lines, and if you add Mata and Mkhitaryan, it doesn't matter who you have up front. They're going to create chances after chance after chance. I thought in the first half we had the opportunities to win it, but in the second half, apart from the last 10 minutes, Rooney had one. But apart from that, there was very little opportunity, actually. We didn't pepper the goal like we did at Stoke and Burnley, and even Arsenal. We didn't get anything close to that number of shots, or it certainly didn't feel like it in the second half, at least. I think we ended up with 8 shots on target and about 20 shots overall, but they didn't feel like they was coming quality. I thought Rooney should have shot instead of crossing quite near the end, but he looked bright when he came on. I thought we was going to get to see Bastian Schweinsteiger, and maybe we was, in all honesty. I think we might have seen him if we was winning the game comfortably towards the end. In my fan cam I said, fuck the Europa League. And I think, if anyone's seen my fan cams for the last year and a half, that's a sentiment that I've echoed all the way through there. I don't care about this competition. It's a distraction, and there is something in. On paper it makes no sense. It doesn't make any sense to me. But there was a study that I read which shown teams that go far in the Europa League are affected in the league by their league form. You can point to Sevilla as an anomaly, but the Spanish league is not the most competitive league. You're not going to win it, and they don't win it, so they just bob along, in a Europa League place, and then concentrate on doing well in that competition. That's Sevilla. We're not Sevilla. We should be aiming for bigger things than that. We need to be in the Champions League for prestige reasons and all the rest of it. I really don't understand people who say that you can win the Europa League to get into the Champions League next year. There's no margin for error whatsoever. You've got one game left in the group, I think, Zora, and then you've got 9 matches to win. You basically can't lose in those matches. And that's your ticket to the Champions League, is to do that. Something we've never done in our history. And then you look at how easy, comparatively easy, I think, getting into the top 4 would be. The next 6 weeks or so is make or break time for a lot of clubs around us. You've seen Tottenham pick up a loss. People are going to drop points. City's luck is going to run out. They're having a very, very fortunate time at the moment, but that luck will run out at some point, and the luck will turn in our favour at some point, because the performances are there, more or less. I thought even today, despite that, I didn't think the team selection was great, and the formation wasn't perfect. There was still the opportunities to win the game. Outright murder it. Really was. West Ham was awful. Completely knocked into submission by a 68% possession. All the shots, all the chances was ours. We just didn't take them. And I don't think the keeper played particularly well. I think the shots that we did put on him was pretty close to him. The only one it made a good save off was, I think, the Lingard one early doors, the Rashford one where he goes through one-on-one. If you'd have paused it and said what's going on there, I'd have put the house on him bagging. But he didn't. He missed. The other little bit of news that I've got is I was hearing tonight that Memphis has been talking to teammates about Everton, and by the sounds of it, he's going to be going. Sorry, he's going to be going to Everton, and by the sounds of it, it looks like it'll be a permanent deal. Can't say who for obvious reasons, but I'm pretty good about that in all honesty, because I don't think he's been given a fair crack. And I understand if he wants to go, it's probably going to be a good move for him. Maybe he wants to work under a Dutch manager. I don't know if he's had any previous with Ronald Koeman. And I think they're doing all right at the moment, Everton. There, they've got a decent squad. I think the defence needs a little bit of work, and that's why they're struggling at the moment. Their attack's decent though, midfield decent. They've got a lot of decently attacking players, but I think they struggle at the back just a little bit. I can really see Memphis coming back to haunt us. People point to how many goals he scored, and people say, "Oh, he was shit apart from in the Europa League." He wasn't. He really wasn't. There were several league games where he was great last season. People just forget because it was a long time ago, and last season was a long, arduous season, which is what this one's turning into being. Don't know the fee. Don't know when it'll go through, if it'll go through for definite. It sounds like it's pretty nailed on, but things happen in transfers which mean that they don't go through. There could be an injury between now and Christmas, and Memphis gets a run in the team, and they cancel the transfer, or United cancel the transfer, or Everton find another target and go with that. There could be reasons why this doesn't happen, but fairly certain this is going to go ahead, judging by who it came from. But yeah, apart from that, that's that. So let us know in the comments if you want me to see a greater in-depth tactical look at... Obviously, we did a tactical look at how Mourinho could shape up with this team at the start of the season. Got about 100,000 hits. I think I put 4-3-3 in that, in all honesty, but I can't remember. And I think we'll revisit that and see what's worked, what's not worked, and how we can make Manchester United great again. Fucking hell. Anyway, thank you for watching. Obviously, it's been a little bit quiet on the channel over the last couple of weeks while I've been off doing a load of filming. I have got a bit of a documentary style video coming soon, the title of which will either be Football is Not a TV Show or Football Without Fans is Nothing, something along those lines. That was the reason why I went to so many games over the last week. I didn't manage 7, I only managed 6 because Oldham was called off because of a frozen pitch and I couldn't really get anywhere else. So I did 6 games in 7 days. The last 7 days, pretty tired now. Like Glasgow especially tired me out, and obviously I've got some of the editing and fan cam stuff to do post match. So it's almost midnight right now. I've just finished with all the fan cam uploads and got home after a Europa game Thursday night. That's 2-3 in the morning. So long hours, but it is what it is. Tomorrow up bright and early for daily at 8 o'clock, and then I'll be at Old Trafford for the full-time review show. So make sure you go check that out on Full-Time Devils. Go check out all the fan cams. Make sure to subscribe. Give us a big fat thumbs up. And as mentioned in the podcast, there will be more details coming out on over the next couple of days about how you can win a PlayStation 4 through our podcast, and the podcast sponsor Tops the Pot. And we're going to be doing some sick prizes. So it's a PlayStation 4 next month, and then the following month we might do an iPad, and I think we might get all the way up to something like a MacBook or a MacBook Pro towards the end of the season we get. So make sure to subscribe for that. Make sure to head over to the Reddit group for more information on that. Thank you for watching, and hopefully a little bit of a busier week for you this week on the old channels. Laters.